Yo, wagwan. Tish your boy, Jeton, legendary. And look here, folks, I've been doing Skyrim photography for quite a bit now. And I've realized over all these years, nearly 10, I have not yet showed a guide on how I do it. So, with that being said, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell, show what your people join Legendary Clan Sports Channel to become legendary. I do all things photography and cinematics, virtual, real life, and sometimes AI. Here, we have ourselves a Skyrim guide. So as said in the intro, I started playing Skyrim in 2013 when my dad had showed me the game. It was the greatest thing I'd ever seen, okay? I was in a fucking endless gameplay world of GTA Online and Skyrim, okay? And around 2017 is when I hopped on over to PC and started doing my photography thing. From the very beginning until today, okay? I mean, I've gotten a lot better since then. So I think it'd be a good time to show you guys a guide. And the most important thing is for the folks who do not wish to add mods to their game. I have some ways around you having to do that. So let's get into it. So for the people not looking to add mods to their game, okay, the two most important things you're going to need to do, of course this is only going to work on PC, alright, is TFC and FOV. TFC stands for toggle free cam, and FOV toggles field of view. So you're going to hit the tilde key, which is the button right before number 1. This will open up the console. You type TFC, and boom, as you see, it said fly camera is on. So boom, now I can move freely. I can completely leave my character behind if I just need to. Okay, but we're in the city, so the outside is going to look pretty terrible. Then you do FOV, and then you type a number with it. So let's go FOV 50, and boom, that puts it closer. This is how I used to do my photos back in the day. And as you can see with the game, if I'm not mistaken, vanilla Skyrim has field of view. I mean, depth of field. I could be wrong, but either way, this is how you do it for PC. When you don't want that no more, you put TFC. Fly camera is off, so boom, we're back on the normal cam. Okay, but then the field of view is busted, so you go FOV and put it back to 80. Boom, everything's back to normal. And that's how you do it for vanilla. Now, for my folks who are going to want the mods, I'm going to show you that too. Now, boom, that's what you need to do pictures with the vanilla world. And don't get me wrong, you could do some great stuff, but check these two pictures out, okay? Same character, different environments, okay? One is vanilla, the other is not. So, with that being said, I do implore you to get your hands on photo mode and stuff like that, because it is a very small and light mod. This will allow you to take far better pictures than using TFC and FOV. Don't get me wrong, those are great for vanilla. And I know not everybody wants to add mods to their game, but these are small mods. These are mods that are barely over 100 KBs half the time and are going to affect your game very, very little. If you want really good graphical mods, there are tons of videos on YouTube that will give you great graphic mods and all kinds of stuff that you can look up. I have a few that I use, but those are more of the, I would say that's more the less important side. I probably will link some in the pinned comment though if you want to check them out. But let's get to this photo mode. Alright, so once you have photo mode downloaded, which if you downloaded it correctly, if you didn't, I can't help you with that. I didn't make the mod, I only used the mod. So once you have it downloaded, you'll scroll over to system and you'll see photo mode. You hit that and boom, it's open and ready to be used. Now it comes down to the using each part of photo mode. So first you have camera. This controls the field of view. You could put it as low as 5. You could put it as high as 150, which looks ridiculous. Okay. You know, you got the roll. This allows you to spin it around. 90 degree on both sides. Then you have the speed, this is on based on how fast the camera moves. Obviously, the lower it is, the slower it is, the higher it is, the absurdly faster it gets. It gets fast. Really unnecessary too, how fast it can get. Unless you're doing something where you need to be across the map quick and fast. You have depth of field control, so this is when you get nice and close to the characters. You can see the background blurs out. You can make it nice and high if you want. You can make it nice and low. Okay, and then there's the distance of it. This puts it further. This puts it closer. So, boom. That's the control on that. Next up is the time. Controlling the time is important. Okay, this is the global time, so this makes the world slower. And then this makes the world faster. Okay. Go ahead and keep that on 1 for now, because we don't really need that. This is game hour. This controls the time. Of course, you got to be careful with that because it also controls it doesn't control the weather. So the weather, I'm not 100% sure how it works. This is the scale, so if you want the world to be the time to be faster, or if you want the time to be normal. The weather I'm a little confused with because it doesn't really work all that well. So if I switch it to Skyrim, then I go over to this tab, you're supposed to be able to see various weathers. As you can hear, I'm switching through stuff. I can't see what I'm switching through. So, yeah, there's that. But all in all, works well. Then you have player. This is the control of your character. So here, we can hide the character if we want. If we just want scenery, we bring her back. Then you go down here, you go to expressions. You can switch the expression on her face so we can make her happy. Okay, as you can see, she now has a smile on her face. And you go ahead and bring that back down. Smile is gone. To make her look scared and crap like that, you know what I mean? Whatever facial features you might be needing, you can do. So let's say you want to make your character look happy. Boom, you put that into 100. Go to these right here. This is mouth control. So right here, you know, you want your character to show the teeth. Boom. Pearly whites is being shown. And then you scroll down to modifier, and this is the eyes. You can control an eye or two if you want. That's the left, that's the right. Eyebrows, all that good stuff to make just a bit more emotion in your character's face for whatever you might need. Although sadly, these ones, if I remember correctly, do not work. Can't make them actually look in any direction. That part doesn't work, unfortunately. Then we have filters. This is another important one. So, filters, this is the lighting control. Make it super dark, make it super bright. You know. Then you can control the saturation. So this is how much color, whether you want the color super strong or inexistent. Okay, all depends on what you're looking for. And then the contrast is the grayscale. So if you wanted real dense colors, you know what I mean, you pair that with that, it's almost blinding. Okay, that's for the dense of the colors or just none at all. And then the tint, this is like if you want to make it look like your character's in frickin' Mexico, add a bunch of blue and green, and boom, everything's real yellow. You add more red to get more of a warm color. Reduce that, you know what I mean? Get full red. Okay, as you can see, it's very light tint. You can make it stronger if you want. You know, it's cool controls, cool controls. And then the image modifiers, I'm not 100% sure what this one does. I've never actually tried to use it, so, you know. Oh, okay. So, yeah, yeah, you saw, I don't know what that is called. And then lastly, we have overlays, okay? Overlays, this is gonna be this joint right here. I forgot how to say that. So, boom. Now that you have all the usages, let me go ahead and give you a little bit of tips and tricks on how I do my things. Okay, so, boom. With where our character is, with photo mode, this is what I would do for each of my various things. That is, persons, objects, which we have none around us, and then exteriors, okay, including interiors. So, while we're here, for characters, I usually do a field of view of 20 to 50. Because 20 to 50 allows you to see the character. Now, let's say you want to see just the character, okay? You only really care about the character. that is where I might do something super low, like 20 or 30, because I'm not really caring too much about what's behind the character, just the character. As you can see, it's all on her. You just see her, you get a little bit of glimpse of the background, same with about 30, but you want to add, like, let's say you want to add like a little bit more sunlight to it, and boom. Now for me in Skyrim, or most things, I typically do 50, because 50 allows you to see a good amount of the character, more of the character if anything, but you also get to see a lot of the background too, as you can see. So without being too close, because a lot of times I do like to add a little bit of environment. As you can see, we can see the character just fine, but we can also see a healthy portion of the background, which adds a lot of extra quality. Now let's say we're doing scenery, or no, let's say we're doing an object. For objects, I will typically go around 40 to 60. This allows you to see an entire object quite well. We don't have anything around us to really show you. I guess the bridge, right? We're just looking at this portion of the bridge. That's all we really care to see. It's a smaller, but at the same time large. It's much bigger than our character, so we need more field of view. So what I would typically do, like I said, is 40 to 60. Something like this, maybe 70, because it's a little bigger. And then for actual like open world sceneries and stuff, like how we're at this wall, I would typically do 60 to 90. 90 allows you to see a healthy portion of the building, or of whatever large part you might be looking at. As you can see, we can see a lot. We can see the sunlight, we can see the trees, we can see the mountain, and we can see the whole side of the wall. So this is typically how I do things. Now anything beyond that becomes a little too far. 100 is decent, but as you can see, things start to become a little skewered and strange looking. And then anything beyond that obviously is just too much. So for me personally, I like doing, okay, for my characters, that is 20 to 50. As y'all know, I do 20 a lot on Cyberpunk. I do 50 a lot here on Skyrim. 30 is good if you want to see a little bit more of the character. 40 is where you're starting to breach regular, you know, what you would typically do when you're taking pictures of a person or a character, is 40 to 50. You can see a good amount of the person, but you can also see a good amount of the background as well. As you can see, if I have it here, right, and we back it up, we don't get to see the sunlight. So that's the one thing, unless you don't care and you're just focused on the character. 50, now we go about the same distance, and boom, we get sunlight. So it adds a bit more to your photo. 60, 70, that's for your large objects. Maybe it's like a car in a like, maybe you're like on Forza or something, you're trying to take a picture of a car. Then boom, you can see the object real good, but not too much of everything else, because you're not really caring about everything else. And like I said, 90 for open world. I mean, you get to see a whole lot. I mean, look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. Now it comes down also to colors, right? Let's say let's go ahead and put a smile on our character's face real quick. Keep her in that pose right there. Okay, boom, she's all happy, go giddy and whatever, right? So boom, you got your position, you got the right amount of blur that you want. Let's say you want to put a little bit of roll on that too, because that's always good. Always adds a little bit of extra swag to the photo, you know what I'm saying? She's looking proud, she's looking good, right? So boom, now comes down to lighting control. For a photo like this where the sunlight is real present, it's real snowy, you kind of want more brightness, because you're in an area that would be bright as fuck. There's a bunch of white snow and it's reflecting all the sunlight. So it's going to be bright. 120 is usually pretty good. If you want to go a little higher, you can go a little higher, but 120 is usually pretty healthy. Or if you want it a little darker, then you can go darker. That really depends on what you want, honestly. This is more of like what you're going to do with your photo. This is your color control, so if you want a bit more color, as I said before, right? And then the density is already good, but let's put it up to like 40 and let's bring that down a little bit. And boom, you get a well-lit, well-colored photo. Simple as that. And that is, I mean, yeah, I'm not really sure what else I could show you. Oh, matter of fact, I almost forgot. I'm done. Poses. You can download people's pose packs that they create, and as you can see, I have a few, or you can stick with Skyrim's regular pose packs. So let me show you what that looked like. So, oops, I didn't mean to get rid of her. So, boom. Go to Skyrim. You can choose any animation within the game. So, boom, let's have her reading a book, and boom, she sits there and she will read a book for as long as you have her sitting there read a book. And you can use that. I mean, there's a whole bunch. One of my this is one of my favorite, the book, and where is it? The one where she's sitting there with the cup in her hand. Yeah, there we go. Boom. I mean, chilling at the party. She got the drink, and she just chilling. I never realized how small the cup handles are here. Everybody in Skyrim are large folks. Why are the cups so little here? Only people who aren't that big is the Britons. Never paid that attention till now. She can't fit her hand on that little bitty cup. Then you could get other people's pose packs. Let's do this one because it's got a million poses in it. Now, the only downside with a lot of people's pose packs is it's Skyrim modding. So, most of you already know. A lot of craziness being these pose packs like that. We're not even going to go down and see what she's looking like. So, boom. Simple standing pose. And boom, you could get other people's pose packs. For download on Nexus. Boom, your character is now in a pose. Okay. You got effects and stuff. I'm not 100% sure what these do. I don't really use them. I think for like if you're trying to make your character look like they're casting abilities and whatnot. And then you can use transform to move the character around however you might need. You want to move them left, you want to move them right, back and forth, side to side, and all that extraterrestrial stuff. And that, my good peoples, is how you do it. So, I mean, now I truly don't think I know what else I could show you. That's it. That is it. Photo mode is an absolute must. You gotta have photo mode. If you ain't got photo mode, then you're gonna be missing out on a lot of quality that you can do and whatnot. So, if there's anything that I missed that you might have think that I might have missed, then let me know. I will be linking the graphic mods that I use just in case you don't want to go out and find none yourself. I will gladly post the ones that I use. And with that being said, my good peoples, I hope that that was helpful in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, if you don't want to go with the mods, Build a View and TFC, those work decent enough. If you do want to use the mods, absolutely make sure you get your hands on photo mode. And I will probably link a bunch of mods that I use for my graphics. Because as you saw there, my graphics were anything but normal. So, with that being said, it has been your boy, Jedon Legendary. I gotta do one more guide. I'm about to do Call of Duty because yeah, I've been asked a couple of times how do I do photos on Call of Duty, so I'm probably gonna have to make that happen now. With that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, share with people join Legendary Clean Sports channel, become legendary. I upload all things photography and cinematics, virtual, real life, and sometimes AI. I'm out.